His blood went cold. The demon was still out there, and it was watching them. Tanjiro looked toward the door. His instincts screamed for him to act, to hunt it, to finish this before dawn. But he stayed still. If he left the house, he would lead it straight to his family. So he waited. Hours passed. The fire dimmed. His siblings fell deeper into sleep. But Tanjiro remained awake, alert, unblinking, listening to the night breathe. Only when the first hints of morning touched the horizon did the presence finally disappear. The tension in his muscles eased slightly. Tomorrow, he murmured to himself, I'll find out what's happening. The world had already changed. The danger was closer than before, and he needed answers. As sunlight crept through the window, Nezuko stirred awake, rubbing her eyes with a soft yawn. Tanjiro, why are you still up? He smiled gently, brushing her hair. I just wanted to make sure everyone slept safely. She blinked in confusion, but nothing happened. He nodded. Exactly. His mother watched him quietly. She sensed something she always did, but she didn't ask. Not yet. Tanjiro stretched his tired limbs and grabbed his basket. Mom, I'll head out for more firewood and check the traps. I'll be back soon. She nodded. Be careful. He stepped outside, snow crunching beneath his feet. The forest looked normal, but the scent lingering in the air said otherwise. A demon had been here, and if it wasn't an upper moon, then it was something entirely new, created by the timeline he had already altered. Tanjiro closed his eyes, focusing on the faint trail left behind. Whatever you are, his expression hardened. I'll stop you before you touch my family. With determination burning in his chest, he followed the scent deeper into the woods, toward the first true divergence of this new world. Tanjiro followed the trail deeper into the forest, the crisp morning air biting at his cheeks. The scent was faint now, but unmistakable rotten blood mixed with something colder, sharper, not a scent he recognized, not from any demon he had faced in his previous life, and that alone made his pulse quicken. The timeline was changing again. This was no longer the world he once knew. He couldn't predict everything anymore, but that wasn't a reason to stop. It was a reason to push harder. Birds chirped faintly overhead. The forest swayed gently. Then Tanjiro froze. His body reacted before his mind caught up. He shifted his stance, lowering himself, hand instinctively reaching for a blade that wasn't there. Someone, or something, was nearby. He inhaled, slow and deep. The scent hit him like a chill down his spine. Fresh blood, human and close. He sprinted toward it, heart pounding, weaving through the trees until he reached a small clearing and stopped dead. A young hunter lay slumped against a rock, breathing shallowly, claw marks across his chest. His eyes flicked up weakly as Tanjiro approached. You shouldn't be here, he whispered. Tanjiro knelt beside him immediately. What happened? Was it a demon? The hunter's lips trembled. It wasn't normal. Its eyes, they weren't like a demon's. It spoke my name. Tanjiro's blood ran cold. A demon calling a human by name. That shouldn't be possible. Where did it go? Tanjiro asked urgently. The hunter raised a trembling hand, pointing behind Tanjiro. No, it's still here. The world went silent. The wind stopped. The forest stilled, as if holding its breath. Tanjiro didn't move. He didn't turn around suddenly. He inhaled, slowly, deliberately, and then he sensed it. A presence, standing directly behind him, cold, focused. Watching, Tanjiro rose to his feet with controlled calm, and finally turned, and his breath caught. A demon stood a few steps away, but nothing about it matched any he had ever encountered. Its body was lean, almost human-like. Its skin wasn't pale or warped. It looked normal to normal. But its eyes, they glowed with two colors, swirling slowly like embers in water. Not the usual demon yellow, not moonlit blue. Something else, something new. The demon tilted its head with an unsettling calm. Kamado Tanjiro, it said clearly, its voice eerily steady. You arrived sooner in this life. Tanjiro's heart nearly stopped. It knew who he was. It knew he had lived before. This wasn't a demon created by Muzan. This wasn't part of the original story. This demon existed only because Tanjiro changed the past. He clenched his fists. Who are you, and why are you attacking people? The demon smiled faintly. A smile that didn't belong on a demon's face. Because, Tanjiro, its eyes shifted, glowing brighter, chaotic. You altered fate, and I am the result. Tanjiro's stance tightened. The world he returned to was breaking open, and this demon was the first crack. Tanjiro kept his guard up as the demon approached slowly, showing no hostility yet lacking any trace of human emotion. The air around them felt heavier, as if nature itself hesitated at what it was witnessing. This demon had no markings, no visible deformities, nothing that suggested corruption. His posture was too calm, too aware. Tanjiro swallowed hard, analyzing every detail. If this being truly existed because of him, then he couldn't treat it like an ordinary demon. But he couldn't lower his guard either. The demon stared at him with unsettling calm. In your other life, you didn't come here this early. You didn't take this path. You didn't meet this man. And I didn't exist. A shiver ran down Tanjiro's spine. The demon not only knew his name, but his past, or worse, his future. Who created you? Tanjiro asked, feet firmly planted in the snow. Was it Muzan? Some kind of new blood art? The demon slowly shook his head. I wasn't created by Muzan, or by any known power. You could say, I'm a consequence. His eyes shifted again, glowing with a strange blend of deep red and dark blue, each color pulsing as if representing separate wills trapped in one body. You altered the timeline by surviving your first life, Komedo Tanjiro. By returning with memories you shouldn't have, yet you caused distortions in existence itself. And I am one of those distortions, a being born from imbalance. Tanjiro stepped back, startled and confused. What you're saying makes no sense. That's impossible. Time doesn't work that way. The demon observed him carefully, as if weighing his disbelief. Time has no rules as long as its threads continue breaking. The gods of fate didn't intervene, because they didn't foresee it. No one imagined a human would die, live, die again, then return carrying complete memories. That mistake created fractures, and fractures take form. He placed a hand over his chest. I am one of those forms. Tanjiro felt a mix of guilt and disbelief. If that's true, then you have no reason to hurt anyone. Innocent people shouldn't be involved. The demon tilted his head. That is where you're misunderstanding. For the first time, something like sadness crossed his face. I'm not here to kill you, or to hunt humans. I'm here because your presence forces me to exist. And while I exist, my body requires sustenance. Tanjiro clenched his fists. Then I'll stop you. I won't let you hurt anyone. But the demon didn't take a fighting stance. Instead, he relaxed his arms and studied Tanjiro's emotions closely. I knew you'd say that, which is why I came before Muzan finds me. Tanjiro's eyes widened. Muzan, he's looking for you. He will pursue any anomaly, the demon replied. And if he finds me, he will turn me into something worse, something you won't be able to stop even with your memories. A heavy silence filled the forest. The snow stopped falling. Everything seemed frozen in anticipation. The demon took a step forward. That's why I want you to end me before it's too late. Tanjiro froze. What are you asking? Kill me, he said without hesitation, before I become a threat greater than any demon from your first life. His voice didn't tremble, yet every word felt like a burden disguised as calm. I wasn't created to live. I was created to correct the mistake you represent, but I have no will of my own to do it. Only instincts that will eventually lead me to devour humans. Tanjiro's breathing quickened. Compassion and responsibility battled in his chest. This was his fault, directly or indirectly. and the demon knew it. "What's your name?" Tanjiro finally asked. The demon seemed fascinated by the question. "That is also part of the fracture. I don't have one. I wasn't born from a human, or from Muzan, or from anybody. I simply appeared." Tanjiro's hands tightened. "I can't kill you without trying another option first. If you're the result of an imbalance, then maybe there is a way to stabilize it." The demon had anticipated that answer. "That hope of yours is what keeps the fracture widening." He stepped back. "Muzan is already moving. Your return, advanced events, shifted paths, forced encounters that weren't meant to happen so soon. If he senses my existence, he will come for me. And when he does, I will become a monster." For the first time, the demon showed fear. "Please, Tanjiro, decide quickly." Tanjiro stepped forward, ready to answer, when a sound cut through the air. A sharp crack between the trees, faint, but too precise to be a wild animal. Both turned their heads at the same moment, and Tanjiro recognized the scent before seeing the figure. A scent that froze his blood, a scent he would never forget, a scent that marked the beginning of everything. Muzan Kibutsuji had arrived in the forest. Tanjiro's breath stopped the moment that familiar scent hit him. Thick, metallic, suffocating, like fresh blood being swallowed by darkness itself. Muzan's presence wasn't loud or aggressive. It was quiet, calculated, almost elegant, and that was what made it terrifying. The demon who had slaughtered his family, the monster who had once turned Nezuko into a demon, was here much earlier than in the original timeline. Much earlier than he should ever appear. A faint crunch echoed through the forest as a figure stepped between the trees, dressed in pristine dark clothing that contrasted with the white snow. His expression was as emotionless as ice. His eyes, cold and crimson, scanned the area with the curiosity of a predator who didn't need to hurry. Muzan's aura alone overwhelmed the space, pressing down on Tanjiro's lungs like a weight. Tanjiro tensed instinctively, even though he had no blade at his side. His fists tightened. His breathing became shallow. Every instinct screamed at him to run, but he stood his ground. Muzan looked at the injured hunter, then at the unnamed demon standing near Tanjiro, and finally rested his gaze on Tanjiro himself. "How strange," Muzan murmured. "I expected only one anomaly, but I see two." His voice was calm, almost bored, but every syllable held lethal intent. The unnamed demon immediately dropped to one knee, trembling not in fear, but in instability. Tanjiro realized its body was reacting to Muzan's overwhelming presence. So Muzan continued, approaching with slow, measured steps. "You are the distortion I sensed. A demon without lineage, without my curse, born from something outside of me." The demon beside Tanjiro struggled to keep its composure. "He shouldn't have come. Not this soon," it whispered, almost breaking apart as its dual-colored eyes flickered wildly. Muzan tilted his head slightly. "You are defective," he said with unsettling calm. "An existence that should not be permitted. A demon I did not create is an insult." Tanjiro stepped forward instinctively, placing himself between the unstable demon and Muzan. "Stop," he shouted, though his voice trembled. "You're the one who's hurting people. You created demons. You destroyed families. If anyone shouldn't exist, Muzan didn't let him finish." In an instant, his expression shifted into something monstrous rage, boiling beneath perfect skin. "Watch your tone, boy." Tanjiro felt a cold shiver rush down his spine. Even without transforming, Muzan radiated murderous intent, strong enough to suffocate the air itself. "Your presence is also unnatural," Muzan said, narrowing his eyes at him. "Your scent is wrong. You carry time that doesn't belong to you." Tanjiro felt his heart nearly stop. Muzan could sense it. He could somehow smell the fact that Tanjiro had lived another life. Muzan's voice softened again, but that made it worse. "Perhaps I should eliminate both distortions. You and that thing cowering behind you." The demon behind Tanjiro shook violently, its voice cracking. "This is what I feared. If he consumes me, he'll take the imbalance for himself. and the timeline will collapse even further.